What is going on, my loveliest FreeMelons? Thank you for joining me here on the FreeMelon Society. Yes, you may be wondering why I am shooting this video freehand in a washroom. There's a good reason why I'm doing this, and I'll get to that in a second. I wanted to demonstrate something to you guys, and it's late at night, and I got the idea, so I just said, okay, I'm just gonna do this now. I'm not gonna care about the technicalities. This is the leaf of a
green onion.
Okay. It was grown fresh from a garden, so it's the cleanest type of vegetable, no preservatives, no pesticides, no anything like that. Okay, this is as natural as it gets, fresh from a garden. Now, what I want to emphasize is that even though this is a vegetable, it's green, and the health community tells us that this is absolutely healthy. This is something that is essential to include in the diet, okay? All manner of green leafy vegetables, okay? What I'm gonna do is I am going to bite into this, and what's gonna, this is an experiment, I know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna bite into this. And what's going to happen is my senses are going to absolutely rebel against my making the decision to eat this
green onion.
But it's this testimony of the senses that we routinely ignore in society and culture. And despite the obvious truth that our senses give us, we still rely on the advice of quote-unquote experts and nutritionists rather than the obvious signs and signals that our body gives us, okay? So I'm gonna just play around with this here. My arm was getting tired. Okay, I'm gonna bite into this healthy, vegan
green onion.
Okay? Okay. It started off for the first couple of milliseconds tasting like any other vegetable. And then all of a sudden, a rush of horrible chemicals just hits your senses. And every single neuron in my mouth and my body was urging me to spit it out as fast as possible. Okay. We all kind of know this already. Why am I making this silly video? Just because something is edible does not necessarily mean that you should eat it. Okay? Not everything that is natural is necessarily good. As you know, we are frugivores by design. We are fruit eaters. Not every fruit is made equal. There are some fruits among the fruit family that are not necessarily the best things to eat, even though they are fruits. There are some vegetables, even though they are vegetables and classified as vegetables, are not necessarily good to eat. This is the same in even the carnivore world. Yes, there are carnivores that eat meat, and we would assume that that means that they would be comfortable, eating any type of other animal. But many carnivores will avoid, for example, frogs, poisonous frogs. Now, a poisonous frog is an animal. It would be considered meat. But carnivores, depending on the carnivore, would avoid the frog even though it is classified as their food. Do you understand? all over the grocery stores, you are going to find
Green onions.
being sold. They're everywhere. You're going to find these
Green onions.
every single, well, in Toronto and Canada, Metro and Longos or whatever, Whole Foods, you're always going to find
Green onions. Green onions.
are not necessarily the best thing for you to eat. They have very potent antibacterial properties. There might be a whole host of other chemicals that I don't know of that are in here. But the point is, I don't need to know all of them because your God-given senses give you everything you need to know about eating this green pepper. They rebel horribly. You don't need a scientist. You don't need a nutritionist. You don't need any sort of professional to convince you that this is good, because the second you put it in your mouth, your whole natural intelligence, the natural intelligence in your body tells you that you are being an idiot by trying to eat this plant. And the dumbest caveman, the most simple Neanderthal would eat this once or take a bite out of it once and for the rest of his life know better than to put this in his mouth a second time. But it's we as humans who are fooled by scientists and nutritionists, where somehow we think we are not competent enough to be able to naturally intuit what is food and what is not. And I am telling you, you can. Okay? You can corroborate this test at home by doing the exact same thing. Okay? You can go and buy a green
Onion.
and without resource to cooking or mixing of flavors or anything, try and put this goddamn green
Onion.
in your mouth and eat it and comfortably swallow. You won't be able to do it because this... Okay, alright, now I'm just getting riled up for no reason. I decided to just make this silly video just because. But anyway, the point I'm getting across here is that even though it's natural, even though it's either a fruit, even though it's a vegetable, even though it falls into the category of what would be constituted as natural human food, doesn't necessarily mean it's good to eat. Okay? You have to use natural intuition to be able to discern, and use just common sense and discernment to be able to tell what is food and what is not. That is the point of this video. That's all I'm trying to get across in this short little, silly little thing. I'm definitely not going to finish the rest of this because I don't want to vomit. I'll see you next time on the FreeMelon Society.